The scariest drugs you've never heard of. Our drug series has been a fan favorite since day one. We had the craziest drugs you've never heard of, more crazy drugs you've never heard of, the deadliest drugs you've never heard of, and now the scariest. But I'll let you guys in on a little secret. All of these drugs are deadly, scary, crazy, and gross. With that being said, today's video likely has some of the most unknown drugs I've ever talked about. Some of these drugs are scary because of where they come from, some of them are scary because of what they do to you, and some of them are scary because of what happens after you take them. Regardless, we're gonna discuss them all. Let's get started. 25I-NBOME. Quite the name, and for short, we'll just call it 25I. Some other popular nicknames are N-Bomb and Smiles, both odd. 25I was first synthesized in 2003 for research purposes, but it only took the drug community about 7 years for it to become popular. In 2010, it began to circulate the recreational drug scene due to the psychedelic effects associated with it, but unfortunately, it was often misrepresented as LSD, which is extremely dangerous for reasons we'll get into. 25I is a potent phenethylamine and is deadly in doses as low as a milligram. This chemical has caused significantly more deaths and dangerous responses than your run-of-the-mill psychedelic. And although it typically comes on blotters and does have a psychoactive effect similar to LSD, that is really where the similarities end. 25I is typically sold as LSD because to the unsuspecting consumer, the effects may be similar. And 25I is considerably cheaper than LSD, giving the distributor an incentive to misrepresent the drug for a profit. However, this fact alone causes a lot of the danger and is a considerable reason why there has been so many deaths and injuries associated with this compound. 25I is potent, and I mean very potent. And unfortunately, that means that there is a very high risk of overdose, specifically when you are taking high doses of this drug. Even the margin between a moderately high dose and an overdose is razor thin. And if you are taking blotters that are not evenly distributed, you could think you're taking a low to moderate dose, but in reality, actually taking a dose that will potentially kill you without you even knowing. This story alone is a great example why people who take recreational drugs should always have them tested, because it could truly save your life. And although the potential life-threatening toxicity and death associated from this drug being either abused or misrepresented as a completely different compound are extremely scary, that's not where the story ends. Obviously, taking this drug and dying is the worst outcome, but it's not the only bad outcome that can happen if you take this compound. Let's focus in a bit on the actual experience of this compound. This drug not only produces visual changes, but can also produce auditory, tactile, and smell-based hallucinations, which to me sounds hilarious and irritating. Like, imagine you just keep smelling something, especially if it's a negative smell and you can't identify the source of where it's coming from.